Hello and welcome to the Snap podcast hosted by us, the duo. For anyone new here, my name is Vincent.
And my name is Reese, and today we are going to talk about unpopular opinions in photography.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Just a quick update. We have a new couch. We have a new setup.
Do you guys like it? Big thank you to Dad.
We went to a thrift store and he told us that he knew some great thrift stores. So we went to the thrift stores and we found this in the corner. And it was for a steal. So thank you, Dad.
Steal. He pushed Vincent out of the way while Vincent was trying to buy it.
Yeah.
Vincent's very, very serious about being pushed out of the way.
That was good. we got a free couch, so
Thanks, Dad.
I don't care about a little push.
Just a PSA for these unpopular opinions. They are not ours, but others that have posted on Reddit, and we plan on telling you if we agree or disagree.
Yes, ma'am. All right, should we dive in?
Yes. Another thing is Vincent has not seen any of these.
No, for the second week in a row, Reese has written the points, her bullet points.
Yay. Look at me go.
Look at her go. All right, number one.
I also went to the dentist today and I have 0 cavities.
I go at 3:30 today.
I just want everyone to know that. I'm really excited about it. Okay. Number one.
You don't need a degree in photography arts to become a professional photographer.
This one's so controversial.
I'm going to say that you 100% don't need a photography arts degree to be a professional photographer. I don't think you have to.
Okay, so while I was making this list, there was 2. So this is the first one I came across, and I put it on here. But later down the list, I saw someone say, you definitely need a degree in photography, and YouTube is not good enough.
I would see how old that photographer is. Do you know how old?
No, it's Reddit, so
It's Reddit?
they have fake names. And
How long ago was it posted? Do you know or no?
I can look.
I don't know. I personally don't think that you need to go and spend 2 or 4 years at a college and spend tens of thousands of dollars, become massively in debt, and pay that debt off over 20 years. I'm not for that.
4 years ago.
I think that if you're, a doctor, lawyer, a vet, or anything like that.
I definitely think that there's things in college that you need a degree for or would benefit with a degree for.
100%.
We personally just don't think it's necessary. We are not only with YouTube though, but trial and error too. We've done a lot of research on what we do, and there's no better learning than to experience.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
you 100% don't need it. I'm sorry, you don't. And I think
it's nothing against people who have it.
No,
but I just
nothing
don't.
against it. But I think that a lot of times what happens is people who get a photography arts degree, their style of photography always stays the same and really never changes that much. Because the people who taught them to do it a certain way, and they feel that since they've spent tens of thousands of dollars,
they need to do it.
Then they have to do it that way.
I get
Now,
that.
not all people who got the photography arts degree are going to do it that way. They will venture off and do their own thing, and good for them, and that works for them. But I don't think in order to become a professional photographer, you need to go and get massively in debt for it.
No.
Very much against getting in debt like that.
So I would say that we agree with this unpopular opinion, correct?
100%.
Okay, so number 2. Just because you have a following on Instagram doesn't mean you're a good photographer. Just because you don't have a huge following on Instagram doesn't mean you're a bad one. I'm iffy about this because we're really passionate about our work, and I would never want someone to come up to us and say you're bad at what you do. So I will never tell somebody that they're bad at what they do, because I do truly feel like, yes, photography, it's a business, but it's also an art form.
Yeah.
It might not be your style, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's horrible. I mean, if the photos are completely grainy and
or they're like extremely oversaturated.
That's an editing style, though. Oversaturated is an editing style. So
No. I'm talking overly saturated to where it's so saturated you can see the pixels in the screen. Like it's that saturated. Like
that's more of a texture problem.
It's a them problem.
I don't like telling people they're not good at what they do when it comes to photography, because I do
No.
think it's an art form. So I would
Mhm.
say yes, in the fact that, you know, the following doesn't really matter, because you could be a really good photographer and just not know how to market, or just not have, you know, I feel like with things like Instagram, it's hit or miss. You could have a really good post and Instagram won't show it to anybody. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. And yeah. If you do have a lot of followers and you gained them organically, then it shows that you are doing something right.
I feel like all of our followers are organic. Not saying we have like a crazy
100%.
amount.
We've never paid for any followers or
No.
any likes or anything like that. Everything that we've done on social media is 100% organic. And if you do it the organic way and you gain a good following, then you definitely are doing something right.
I can agree.
There you go.
Ooh, the next one.
Number 3, drone photography is overused and overrated.
I'm gonna let you take this one.
Okay, so look, with drone photography, I guess it just depends on what you're doing with it. If you're doing something like real estate, then yeah, you kind of almost want to overuse drone photography because it's an angle that a lot of people don't ever get to see of the house that they might buy, you know? Or if somebody's selling a house, they've never seen it at those angles. And using a drone gets you a different perspective that you can't get with your 2 feet.
Yeah.
Now, that's the only time I've ever used a drone for photography is in real estate.
We don't do it for weddings. We do drone video.
We do drone video for weddings, and we get a lot of really good shots with it. It's a good way to show the venue off.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that it's overused. I guess so. Maybe if somebody's new to drone photography, they're excited to use a drone, so maybe they can overuse it a little bit. One of the things that people do when they first get the drone is they put it up as high as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what happens. So maybe they just get excited, they overuse it, but I definitely don't think it's overrated.
I don't think so either. I
No.
feel like it adds another level of expertise into your wedding
It
videos.
adds that extra je ne sais quoi.
I hate that word. Yeah, so I would disagree with this one. I really like drone work. I do. I think it just adds.
If done
extra.
correctly, turns out beautiful.
Yeah. Number 4, can I take this one?
Please.
Sepia is god awful.
Now sepia is
Have we ever used it?
Have we ever used it? No. Never.
So that tells you how we feel about sepia.
Well, hold on. Let's clarify something. If sepia was used back then, I think I'm okay with it. I'm looking at some examples. Back then it was fine. Today I don't think so. I think what
Well, because before color photographs, it was sepia, black and white.
right. But I think what a lot of this is.
It just shows though that it's in the past. To me, it's a thing of the past. I don't like sepia. I don't.
I think it's more of a style for. It's definitely a niche market for sepia photos, and I think it's mostly popular with, say, like older photographers.
You won't see us using it. I'm just telling you that.
No, I mean we won't use it. It's definitely older photographers. They'll use it, and if people like it, and if they like it, then good for them. We personally, in our opinion, we're not the biggest fan of it, so we won't use it.
I think it's god awful. It's a personal preference, though. It's an maybe an unpopular opinion, but I'm not gonna use it.
We will not use it.
No,
So,
it's not happening.
Am I sorry? No.
If you say you have wedding photos in sepia and you love them, good for you. Love that for you.
What the hell? Okay, can we go to the next one?
But it's not happening with the Snap Duo.
Moral of the story is sepia. No good.
No, not with us.
All right, ready for number 5?
Yeah.
I hate people who give their photo files names such as, quote, lost tenderness. Oh. Or the dark of the night. Just keep the numbers. Nobody cares about the photo name. What the?
Apparently, okay, so you know when I do my first draft edits on photos and then I send them over to you and then you do any Photoshop and stuff, and sometimes you'll name them just to like keep track of them, like Photo fixed.
I'll name it what I did. So if I removed a car, I'll put
Car
car
gone.
gone 1.
Okay.
And then car gone 2, car gone 3. And I'll whatever I take out, that's what I pretty much I name it.
So apparently there's photographers when they're ready to send their gallery out, they'll go through their file with the photos, like the done photos, and name every single photo.
I mean,
and they try to get really like artistic with it, such as lost tenderness. Ooh!
First of all, I absolutely cannot stand that word.
I put it in there
tender.
on purpose.
Now, if people like go to describe like something they're eating, like they're eating a steak, and they go, "Oh, it's so tender." Okay, that's fine. But when somebody like when I've gone to the doctors before and they push on like your chest or your stomach or something,
Is that tender?
Is that tender? It's like, oh, don't say that. I don't know. I don't like the word tender. It's like, what's the other word I don't like? I hate when
burst.
I've gotten better with burst.
Gallbladder's bursting.
That's fine. I don't have that problem. Dad does.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. But
poor Dad.
Dark of the night. The dark of the night. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
The dark of the night. This photo is named The Dark of the Night.
I don't understand that. No one gives two rats ass about what you wanted to name the photo.
Just edit the photo, okay, beautifully to your artistic satisfaction, and put the photo in the gallery. Do not name it Lost Tenderness or The Dark of the Night.
It's a waste of time, personally.
It's a waste of time.
We have way too much stuff going on for me to sit there and name 40 photos different things. I mean, we have trouble sometimes. What was I just doing? Oh, we're working on our Pinterest right now, and it wanted me to
follow us on Pinterest.
It wanted me to add a description on each of the photos that I was adding. And I know you need to, because like when you look up like beach maternity photo, you want that to like come up. But I was sitting there like, oh my God, I've been doing these for wedding photos for 40 minutes and I've run out of things to say. I can't imagine going through a photo, because sometimes we'll have a picture that is like a hair of a difference, but it's practically the same thing, but they're different in a way that you need to put both. How do I name I don't know.
Yeah, it's
just keep the file name.
It's some interesting stuff.
If it makes you happy, I guess do it. But your clients, I can promise you, really don't care about what you name the photo.
They don't. These are facts.
Don't think.
They don't.
Maybe you as clients could tell us if you're watching
If you want us to go,
do you want us to name the photos?
If you want us to go through after or before we already handcraft the gallery, you want us to go through before and name each individual one, let us know. We'll do that for you.
Vincent, we'll do that for you.
I'm doing nothing.
This blanket makes you look really wide. That's okay.
I'm wearing white today.
Me too. I wore white because of you.
Woo-woo.
Okay, next one. Street photography is nothing but creep shots.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Okay, so you know
like on stalker?
You know on TikTok where the photographer will be like, I'm a photographer and I took these. And then he's like in Times Square and he's just taking pictures of people walking or eating their food.
Yeah.
Or they sometimes do like homeless people.
Yeah.
Or so they're saying it's just creepy because you weren't hired to take the photos. You don't know those people. Like imagine us being at the mall and seeing someone just like while we're walking by. So they're saying they're creep shots.
I don't think they're creep shots.
I don't think they are either. I think they're beautiful. Sometimes
going out and getting outside of your comfort zone and just walking up to people who you think would
no, but they're not talking
really well.
they're not talking to them. They're not walking up to them. They have a really long
they're talking about
lens.
People who will stand off a corner and just like see people walking and they'll just take pictures like that. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's like life. That's
it's
life
beautiful.
Just happening right there, and you just for that 1 second you snap a picture and time is frozen.
Somebody on there commented and said it's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Not if you're in a public space, it's not.
And I think that if they see you with a professional camera and you can tell you're a photographer, I don't think people really care.
People think that just because you take a picture of them that they own that photo.
There's always that one person that don't care.
There's always people like that, or that they say you are not allowed to take my photo without my permission, but they're in a public space. If you're in a public space and somebody can take a picture of you, and if they do, you can't do anything about it.
Boom.
That's just how it goes. You
I
gotta know
think
the
straight
law.
photography is beautiful.
Very beautiful.
I would try not to get any, like, I'm weird about it though. Like, don't get anybody in a compromising situation.
I guess so.
Just be respectful.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Number 7. There's nothing wrong with shooting auto instead of manual. Yes, it is. Yes, there is. There's something wrong with it. In our first couple of shoots, we shot in auto.
Yeah.
And we did that because I was new to Sony and you were new to Sony.
I knew Canon, but I didn't know Sony.
And it's a
not
lot
that really. I mean, with me with the Canon, going from Canon to Sony, it's not that I knew how to shoot manual, but we were also starting a business, so I didn't want to sit there and have to mess with my things because I wasn't. We were new with it.
It's a lot of pressure in the very beginning when you start a business, especially a photography business, because you want to make sure that when you're getting hired and you're getting paid for a service that you deliver a good product. And, a lot of times in the beginning, you'll just flip it onto auto because you weren't sure about ISO, you weren't sure about shutter speed or anything like that. And you just wanted to be safe. You wanted to be careful. You wanted to be cautious. The more you get comfortable with it, the less and less you'll use auto, and then eventually you'll never use auto again, and you'll just use manual. And when you use manual, that's a good thing, and
that's when you go to weddings. It shows and that's when you go to events.
It shows that you learned. So if you use it in the very beginning, that's fine. It's okay. But over time, you definitely want to get off of it. If you want to
be in the professional realm, you have to use manual.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's just my opinion. Hey, this is unpopular opinion, so it might be unpopular, but if you're gonna be a professional photographer, you need to know how to work your camera.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Number 8.
Photography business isn't as hard as photographers want to make it seem. Frickin' sorry. I'm so sorry. I beg to differ.
I gotta bleep that.
So sorry.
When is that?
I've
about
never
18
done that
minutes. Okay, 18 minutes. Remember that.
I've never done that on here. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I beg to differ.
I absolutely beg to differ as well.
If you want to do this full time and this is what you want to do with your life, and this isn't just a side gig that you do on the side of your other job, or you're a stay-at-home mom and sometimes you want to do photo shoots for fun, if this is your full-time business and you want to make a living out of this and start a family with this and survive off of this, it is very difficult.
For the people who say that photography business isn't hard, okay, go file taxes in.
We did that yesterday, guys.
We just did that yesterday. It was mentally exhausting having to prepare, not the actual process itself of filing with our tax person, but getting everything together, our tax write-offs, our mileage, our expenses, income, and just everything. Do that and then come back and we'll see what you say, because I doubt you will say it isn't as hard as photographers want to make it seem.
I talked to my dentist this morning. She asked me what I do for a living.
Talks with a dentist.
And she said, do you have work after this? Are you off today? Did you get the day off for this? And I said, I own my own business, so we are always working. Like, I go to work after this. I'll probably be working tonight. I said my partner and I said we like to joke that we work 24 hours a day. And she goes, oh, I understand. She goes, that seems like a lot. And I said, we're never off the clock. And that's just like one thing with us is we were messaging our giveaway winner. Congratulations. Last night at 9:30 at night. So we're constantly working, constantly evolving, constantly learning, constantly editing, constantly talking to people, constantly posting, filming podcasts, finding new locations. Did I already say that?
It's if you have a business, you constantly have to stay, like, obviously you have to work to make money, and that's with any job that you have. If you work a 9 to 5, you have to go to that job in order to make money.
We don't get paid time off.
We don't get PTO. We don't get vacation. We don't get sick.
We don't work, we don't get
We
paid.
literally have to work as much or as hard as we as what is it as hard as we as hard as what am I trying to say right there?
We have to work as hard as we do to
We have to work as hard as we can for the lifestyle that we've
want to live. We've built.
It's not just okay, I bought a camera and now I'm going to promote myself and post a couple Instagram stuffs here and there. It's not that. You have to invest in a website, your SEO, because if you're not good at SEO, no one's gonna ever find you.
You have to keep up with all of it.
You have to keep up with trends. You have to keep up with social media posts. You have to stay connected with everything. Constantly message people, answering calls, writing up invoices, writing out contracts. Try to write up a contract. It gets a little difficult.
There's this video, and I always show it to Vincent because while we are a duo, this business could not run without Vincent. And it's a TikTok or a reel that says, when you thought you wanted to be a photographer and videographer, but you ended up being a marketing guy, a content creator,
I mean, it's you should really see.
And it goes on the list.
Yeah, have you seen the trend on Instagram? It says, "I'm a photographer, and here's my camera roll or whatever." My camera roll is just filled with so much different content that we've taken over.
Content and cats.
Content, cats, and food.
And me.
Yeah. And us. But it's...
with the occasional dad.
Steve.
No, my dad's name's not Steve, but we like to call him Steve.
Steve. But yeah.
A good example of this, I think, sorry to interrupt you, is we went to the beach last week for my mom's birthday. And while we were there with her, we got there around, I think, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
From 2 o'clock till 9 o'clock when we were going home, we got an inquiry on our website. So we had to step away, write up a message for them, send it out, then have a conversation with them on when we could do a phone meeting. And then not long later, we were celebrating with her and we got another message saying, hey, can we have a phone call at 9 p.m. tonight? We were like, okay. So then the rest of the night, we were kind of strategizing about how that phone call was going to go, what we needed to do for that. If we were going to be done with my mom's birthday dinner in time for the call, where we would go if it was 9 o'clock and we weren't done. Even if we take a day off from in here, our phones keep working.
It's almost like a drug.
Our job?
Yeah, it's almost like a drug. It's like when I do something that doesn't involve work, I get antsy.
I know.
And
we've had this conversation with filming content and trying to work when it's not appropriate.
Yeah, we talked about that. But sometimes it just becomes like a drug. Like if I'm ever in doing something that I really like, I'm not that excited about, or I don't have like much, I don't know, whatever for, I want to go work. So if I lay down too much or something, or I sit down too much, or I'm not doing anything, I want to go work.
Yesterday we were sitting in here.
Good to work.
And
I like it.
He looked outside and he goes, "It's such a beautiful day. Let's go film content."
We did.
Oh, we did.
We did. We got some nice photos. And some good video too.
He's always working.
We both are. It's fun, and we're investing in our future. We put in the hard work now, and later on, we won't have to put as much work into it.
And we're saying, that, photography isn't as hard as photographers want it to make it seem, and we're telling you how hard it is, but we would rather do this than anything else in the world.
Does it get stressful? Hell yeah. Do we get tired? Hell yeah. But is it worth it? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
So
we love our clients.
My answer to that is, if you don't think it's hard, try doing it for a week, and also try filing taxes.
Okay, number 9. Ugh, this one's gonna tick me off. Black and white photography is cheap.
What does that mean?
I read the description on it.
Okay.
He said that any photo could be a black and white. If it doesn't look great, black and white, move the contrast around. It'll look fine. It's lazy. And real photos, like good photos, are color with all the colors. That's the most...
Some of the greatest photos ever taken in human history are in black and white.
I'm looking at one.
Some of the greatest photos ever taken in human history are in black and white.
The dip kiss?
Are they saying that photographer was cheap?
Right,
Are they
the dip kiss is
saying
black
that
and
the
white.
quality was cheap? That the photo itself is cheap and has no meaning because of its cheapness? No.
A few of my favorite photos I personally have ever taken. I'm looking at them on the wall right now, and they're in black and white. Yes, we have our clients' photos on the wall.
People who say black and white photos are cheap don't know what they're talking about.
It's editorial.
You're cheap.
It's romantic.
Just kidding.
It hits a different way. And if you're a professional photographer, you know that you'll look at a certain photo and be like, it's beautiful. I could edit it color. But I know that the true like force that's going to come out of this photo is if it's going to be black and white or not.
Right.
And I'm just staring at those two photos up there.
They're beautiful photos. Strong photos.
Strong black and white. It could be color. I'm sure I edited it in color too just to see. And the black and whites are on the wall, not the color ones.
Right.
Black and white is my favorite.
It's pastime. And for a lot of photos, it's appropriate. So grow up.
Sepia, not so much.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Number 10. Lens caps are for children. Huh?
I laughed so hard when I saw this.
Lens caps are for children. What are you talking about? What are we supposed to use?
Nothing. You're supposed to just know not to bang your camera into anything or trip and fall or...
Great. For the person who says lens cap are for children, if you have car insurance, get rid of it. That's for children. If you have a screen protector on your phone, get rid of it. If you have house insurance or health insurance, get rid of it. That's for children. That's dumb.
It's as stupid as one I think is
dumb.
on this list. I read it. I was like, what?
A child.
I would also like to know that I trip over my own feet. I mean, yesterday I was walking to this beautiful couch and Vincent's camera.
That was the funniest thing that happened yesterday, dude. Okay, let me grab my camera real quick because I just have to show you what she slammed her foot into. My beautiful camera. So hold on.
Okay, and if you're wondering why was his camera on the ground? Well, we had just gotten back from shooting content, and so we were taking everything out of our backpack on the ground in our office. And Vincent needed something over here. I don't remember what it was.
All right, folks. This is
the metal.
This is
the cage.
Yeah, you see the cage on it right there?
Yeah, my toenail's gonna fall off. I know it is.
Yeah. So it was on the floor because for any photographer out there or videographer out there, you know that the place where you work is normally semi-organized or neat. But if you have a shoot or any kind of session coming up and you have to get all your gear together, things can get slightly messy. Or when you come back from a shoot, things can get slightly messy or whatever. So I had it laying on the floor. And she just didn't see it. I saw it.
It hurt. I think my toenail's going to fall off. I swear it was swollen last night.
It was the funniest thing. It was hilarious.
It was extremely...
And I was worried about my camera. I go, is my camera okay?
I think I said, F your camera.
That's funny.
He said, my cage. I said, F your cage. It hurt really bad. So the whole point of that is I trip over anything. I fall. I also just sometimes I don't know my surroundings and I just bang up on things. So lens caps are for children. That's the biggest joke I've ever heard in my life.
We spend our hard-earned money to buy expensive lenses that have expensive glass. That glass needs to be protected. So, I don't know.
I thought it was, they were just...
That person's a child.
Yeah. And our last but not least, raw photos is unnecessary. Shoot in JPEG.
Who said this?
Reddit.
There's a lot of interesting folks on Reddit. Look,
Our lives changed the second we switched from shooting in JPEG to shooting in RAW.
one of the big differences between JPEG and RAW is that JPEG is a smaller, compressed version of the picture that you're trying to take. The RAW file is much larger, which carries more information, which gives you more capabilities of changing certain colors, and you're just able to customize a photo in a completely different way and have a lot more control over that photo compared to JPEG, where you don't have as much control over it.
You get like
So
full
for the
access
person
of
who
RAW.
says that RAW is unnecessary, I think your comment's unnecessary.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't mean to be confrontational.
I don't know any. We know some people in the business, and we don't know anybody that shoots in JPEG.
JPEG.
We used to.
We used to, yeah, and
We used to,
but
and then we
we learned.
We got our cameras, our bigger cameras, and did the necessary learning.
We learned.
And we shoot in RAW, and it makes editing so much easier. You have so much more access to literally every square inch of the photo.
I would love to see in if we took like a photography class or something like that, what the teacher would say to use, JPEG or RAW. I'd be very interested to see. Like for the people who said that they have a who went to the photography school or they got their master in photography, I'd be interested to see. I'm like curious, you know? Like, do they tell them?
I would hope they would say RAW.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'd want to see. I'd be pretty interested.
Now I'm thinking about it. I really hope they would say RAW.
Right?
Yeah.
We're all good over here. Sorry, there were quarters right down here. You can kind of see it in the thing, but there were quarters down there.
How many minutes are we at?
We are at 33, but
so should I find some bonus ones?
Probably about 32.
Should I find some bonus ones for fun?
Sure. Anything else that we want to share? Anything crazy happen?
In our day-to-day life? We announced the winners of our giveaway.
We announced the winner of our giveaway. That giveaway was a major success, and we are very excited for it. So stay tuned for that.
Amen. Okay, I have a couple more just fun ones. Photographers can be some of the most arrogant, opinionated a-holes around.
In your opinion?
I mean, I think that's just a person thing.
It's a person thing. Look,
you could find that as doctors, lawyers.
We've interacted with so many families, so many couples. Nobody's ever talked to us in a certain way, like you're being rude, you're being disrespectful, you're arrogant. We are always respectful to our clients. We talked to it, I think it was either last episode or the episode before, about how we're always respectful, even if maybe somebody's not being as respectful to us or anything like that. But I don't believe that we're arrogant or anything like that. I'm sorry that they had that experience.
That being said, if we're at like a birthday party and we weren't hired to do it, like a family one, and there's like a backdrop, I would rather somebody give me the phone to take the photos, or else you're gonna get horrible angles.
Oh,
and it'll drive me nuts.
Can we put to bed something that we see a lot of people doing? Please. And if you're watching, no, don't do it. I'm gonna do it. I gotta some beef with this. Okay, ready? I'm going to teach some basic photography to those who maybe don't know. Are we ready? When you take a photo, and you're taking a photo for a friend or a family or something, either hold it like this, straight up, or you go sideways like this. Do it like that. What I see happen a lot of times, and it's not a style, and it's not in, and it will never be in, is this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I don't understand. What is this? What is this? Do this or this. We're kind of in the middle. It's like, oh, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to go sideways. Oh, wait, my hand glitched. I can only go like this now. Don't do it.
It's a millennial thing.
It's a millennial thing. Sure. But that's just some basic photography. If we could teach you something.
It's so cringy to me.
If we could teach you something, please just don't ever do it. Please. Please.
And if my mom's listening, I'm so sorry. And I love you more than anything in the world. I know that you love to do that. You keep doing you because it's just who you are. I love you, Mom.
We love you very much.
For everyone else but my mother, stop doing that. Especially if you're taking a photo of a person. Okay. Let's see. Here's a fun one. It says,
Okay.
I hate golden hour. Everything looks ugly, gold and yellow. Drives me absolutely up the wall. Even for portraits, no thank you. I'll happily take blue hour instead, or shoot right up until golden hour and wait for it to pass before I start up again.
Cool. That's your opinion.
It's just an opinion.
Don't put golden hour then. Put blue hour.
I like both.
I like both too.
I like both.
Simple as that.
Yup.
So,
Let's see.
it says Reese question of the day. Do you have one more, or do you want to move to Reese question of the day?
Let's find one last good one.
One last one. All right. Okay, go for it.
Being successful with photography depends a lot on where you live.
In certain situations, yeah, I think so, yeah.
I believe that it very much could be true.
If you live in a town of 5 and you're the
only photographer.
You're the only photographer, you're going to run out of clientele pretty fast.
Or you're going to become everyone's preferred photographer. And then you are going to work for that town of 5, and then the next town of 5, and the next town of 5, and the next
Maybe,
town of
I
5.
guess, but
how many photo shoots do they really need? I don't know.
What if you live on the space station?
You're screwed.
What do you do?
But I also feel like in that sense it's also difficult if you live somewhere like Los Angeles, where every 3 houses could have a photographer in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Crowded
and then
markets.
It's like a very crowded market.
Crowded markets.
I feel like even that way, we live in Southern California, and I feel that way sometimes with the WhatsApp groups on Facebook. Something will be posted like, say, 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, and it'll say like, in need of a wedding photographer. I'll be like, oh, like, we should comment on this. And I'll look, and there's already 95 comments. And it's like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Like, photography is a very, very crowded market, but at the same time, I feel like everybody has a different style that they like. Like, some people may not want photos like this hanging above them. You know, they might want something completely different.
Some
so I
people
feel like it's
want
crowded, but
some people want spicy food. Some people want medium spiced food, and some people want mild spiced food. It all depends on people's preference, and they'll go to a place that they think that will, give them that satisfaction. So
yeah, I agree.
Question of the day, Reese's question of the day, or question of the week, because we only film podcasts once a week.
What is your most unpopular opinion about photography?
My most unpopular opinion about photography? Shoot. My most I don't know. Is there one that you're thinking that I'll say?
No, there's one I know. I'm going to say, but you're not going to like it.
Why don't you go first?
I'm so over the blurry photos. Over that trend. There's a time and a place, like, where it works, like, if they're running and, But for the most part, like, I see it a lot now on social media. And it'll be, like, a photo of them just standing there, and they blur it. And it doesn't look right. Like, I feel like people are taking it to a level that it doesn't look realistic. It doesn't look like there's movement involved, and that's why it's blurry. It looks like you're standing in front of a client like this, taking a photo, and they're just standing there looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing?
Do that again.
Frick. That's what it looks like to me. So I like the blurry photos if they're running and there's like, or spinning. But some photographers are just using it in a very strange way, and it's making me hate it overall. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes 100% sense. I don't know. I don't know if I can pick a specific unpopular opinion. Right? That was the question.
Mm-hmm.
My most unpopular opinion. I mean, we kind of went through it. I think sepia photos are gone. I don't think there's not really that much of a space for it anymore. There, for some people, maybe. I think a lot of people crap on mirrorless cameras.
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
A lot of people, they just crap on it. I see on social media, and people almost get sort of mad sometimes that people switched from Canon to Sony. Or when people switch from a DSLR to mirrorless, they get kind of ticked
I've
off at
had
it.
both. I like my mirrorless.
Yeah. I think a lot of times what my unpopular opinion is that a lot of photographers, mostly older photographers, people who've been in the business for a long period of time, don't like change. They don't like when other people come into their market that they, not their market, but the market that they've been in for, say, 10 plus years and try to change things. They don't like that. And I think
We've
that,
seen that firsthand.
yeah, we've seen that. And I think in order for a market to grow and for it to become better, it has to be open to make some changes to it.
Changes,
As
new
should a business.
generations.
As should a business. A business is constantly evolving. Our business is constantly evolving. The biggest companies in the world are constantly evolving.
We literally laid on this couch the other night at like 11 o'clock while Vincent was laying on it. I was sitting at my desk talking about the next changes that we have to make for our business because things are evolving and we need to stay with the evolving current.
Yeah. So we're going to make some very big changes, probably the biggest changes that we've ever made to our business over the next couple of months. And you just have to be open to stuff like that.
It's scary, but
you have
it's
to
necessary.
change. I mean, my worst fear is being repetitive. Because I feel like if I'm repetitive, then I'm not changing and I'm not evolving.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you imagine if Homo sapiens never evolved, or
I hate that word.
Homo sapiens, yeah. You imagine if they never evolved or anything like that, if the human race itself never evolved,
yeah, it's crazy.
we'd be still lighting fires with rocks. And the same applies to a business or, any kind of profession whatsoever. You want to constantly be changing. You want to constantly be bettering yourself and help others around you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not really going anywhere. And then next thing you know, you're 95 years old. Time's up.
Yeah.
Try to change as much as you can and try to become the best version of yourself. Because before you know it, you got 2 kids, you're 95, and, that's it. Time goes fast. You only have one life. You only get one shot at it. I said,
amen.
Yeah, so
I think that is my only question of the day.
Yeah. So,
you have anything to add to this week's podcast?
I would like to add that we're very excited for the future. We have so many amazing things planned. We have so much content that we're excited to share. And we can't wait to grow. And if you're watching, you're going to see us grow. And hopefully you'll be proud. And hopefully we'll be proud of ourselves. But I'm excited for change. I'm never afraid of change. I'm always excited for change because it opens up new doors.
I'm the opposite.
And new doors and new doors and new doors. And when you constantly change or you're evolving, you get better and better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for the future, and you should be too, right? You excited for
just because I'm doing it with you,
right? See, and it's important to get a partner, a lover. It's a Michael Scott quote. A lover, who not every relationship can do it. Not every relationship can be business partners, but we can. And if you can find that, then you're set for success.
Set for life.
Set for life. I won the lottery. We didn't win the lottery the other day, but I won the lottery 6 years ago.
Aww.
So that's the thing. Change is good. And when you change, good things come. So do that.
Yes, sir.
Don't get stuck in a repetitive motion. Go in circles, go like this. And then form a new circle.
Make sure you follow us on our Instagram at SNAPPDUO. We have a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of months.
So
We are very much booked, and we
yeah,
want to
so
share it with you
make
guys.
sure you hit that notification bell on YouTube and make sure that you are subscribed. If you're not already following us on Spotify, make sure to go ahead and do that and hit the notification bell to get notified anytime we upload a new podcast. If you're not following us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, make sure you go ahead and do that as well so you can see.
And Pinterest.
Yes, and Pinterest so that you can see behind the scenes of what we're doing, what we're doing business-wise and all that stuff. And maybe we'll do another giveaway and you can enter in that as well, win a free shoot. And yeah, so with that, if you made it this far, we appreciate you watching. And yeah, we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.